a vision of Pan-Africanism, is it too idealistic? Are we, as Black people in America, Black people globally, do you think we're too divided to see a more like connected diaspora? And I guess we can start with music and then we could take it broader. But do you see that? What do you think about that?
I don't think we're too divided. I feel like you already see artists in like rap and Afrobeats working together with niggas like Gunna and Ashake and Wizkid and working with Brent Fayez and stuff like that. Like you already see us coming together in some ways where artists are working together. But then I guess in my answer on the global level, I feel like as Africa continues for the next however many years getting stronger as it has been, and before I feel like the people who were preaching Pan Africanism will come out of like one country or like it will come out of like a specific area. But now I feel like it's different parts of Africa coming out, strengthening their economy, strengthening their deals, like doing better stuff that could attract, for one thing, attract Black people to want to live in Africa, come to that place instead of being here, and just to wanting to do business there as well. Like I feel like I listen to Market Mondays a lot with Ian and Rashad, and they always talk about how they're looking for investment down there. They're looking for people to come down there and put money into businesses and do stuff like that. But we're almost like late to the boat because there's a bunch of different countries that are still trying to rework deals and get back into working with Africa because of how rich and resourced it is. So I feel
Yeah.
like there obviously is going to be people who, like you said, there's always going to be people in every race that are going to get left behind, people who don't work hard, people who don't have the same kind of vision as you. But then I also do feel like you hear it in the Black community, sometimes people talk about like we like to gatekeep a lot of stuff. We like to hold a lot of stuff back. We don't like to. I feel like people have tried to put me on, like my friends that I when I went to FAMU when I was around all Black people. I feel like I got put on with a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have got put on just going to a like a PWI. It was people who thought like me, who had similar experiences to me, and they wanted to share that and wanted. We were all going towards the same stuff. I don't know. I feel like it's hard to say.
Yeah. I feel like on a music end, there is a level of not knowing and ignorance that comes along with a lot of the things that we talk about, and some people aren't even open to those ideas. I've been having a lot of conversations with people recently. Like I called Ryan the other day, my friend Ryan. Shout out Ryan Hughes, my only play cousin. And we were talking about, I was like, bro, growing up, Dan Kalenga in middle school and high school,
Yeah,
Dan Kalenga was African growing up. Think about how crazy that is. But there's 54 countries in the entire continent, and we refer to him as African.
yeah.
We didn't even care enough as, and I mean, you can blame this partially on how we were brought up. You could blame this on education and just not knowing. But we were brought up to a point where we didn't even care like where his actual cultural heritage was from, what part of Africa. You know what I'm saying? I learned when I grew up. Like he's from Congo, right? Like his family. But
Yeah.
as a child, I didn't know that. And I feel like and I just use as a child because I obviously have had moments that have opened my eyes. This thing has brought me to a point of like understanding like what the diaspora really is. But the sentiment among even us in the suburbs who get a better education than most, right? We were even ignorant in that state. And it makes me feel like I don't feel like defeated or demoralized in a way, but like the amount of education required to bridge a lot of these communities, like even bridge, like even create connections in the same community, right? Like we talk about the third space a lot. There is no third space in a lot of Black communities. So even in Jacksonville, like I told you, I texted you and mom this morning about the Goa Geechee people, which were a
Yeah.
group of people in the South. Bro, I drive by this park. I'll send a picture so you can put it up. But I drive by this park every single day on the way to gym. Not every day, 7 days a week. It's 3 minutes from my house. And they got a little memorial up for a group of formerly enslaved people that they speak a form of Creole English. It's categorized as another language. And they're here in Jacksonville, in Georgia, in the Carolinas. I don't even know enough about, I'm 800 miles away from y'all. You know what I'm saying? Think about how crazy that is. We're so fragmented as Black people in our own country. We don't even have time to even consider how nuanced the black experience is in another continent on the other side of the world. And it came my head a little bit where I was like, damn, like it's there's people like us tapped in, and I feel like people like us doing the things that we're doing will eventually bring more people in. You know what I'm saying? But the uphill battle that's required to even get somebody to consider listening to some other type of music, right? Like just keeping it on music, it's insane. The mix that I'm putting out this week, we're putting out 3 mixes this week, and we'll get to that later. But one of the mixes I'm putting out this week is focused on I'm a piano beats with American artists on top. I finally figured out like the stems and stuff like that and making mixes that way because I feel like the only way people here will care about something like that there, like at least the majority, the consensus of black people, you hear Sexy Red on I'm a piano beat. Like a real you know what I'm saying? You hear fucking Yo Gotti on a like you gotta hear people that are from where you're from on that type of shit for it to make sense in your head. Cause you can't even get past the accent, which is sick to me. But that you gotta meet people where they're at. You know what I'm saying? And then broader on a global sense, I guess from the conversation I had with Josh, like from a business standpoint, like I do think like there's no getting around the fact that like we have to do business in white America to make this thing sustainable. Like that really it really fucked my head up. And it's not I'm not gonna get too much into it on a pod. It's a music pod. But we have to do business with them. To make our community stronger, we have to do smart business with them. That's the only way to do it. But I do after all that, I still do believe like maybe we don't change everything, but I still believe R&R is to go into our next topic. I do feel like it is a form of the Black Star line. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Garvey, Pan-Africanist movement, the Black Atlantic, all that shit where it's connecting all of us. I still do believe like the potential to build this into the biggest global black brand in the world is still there. I still believe that. But it just, I don't know, it was that conversation messed my head up and it got me to thinking about music and stuff because I still don't send a ton of like random different global music to my friends because they're not willing to listen to that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I feel yeah, a lot of people just aren't open to new things in general. So when it comes to music, especially, people like to listen to the same stuff. But I do feel like we're already seeing a shift of like artists going more towards global music because
Yeah.
we've just seen it in the numbers. We've seen it in the data. We've seen it in what artists are making, the type of stuff that the bigger artists are sitting there doing. Like we just saw Goldlink do a house type of album. I just saw a stat that said house is one of the is the
Fastest
fastest
growing though.
growing,
Yeah.
yeah, fastest growing genre in the. I don't know if it's the world or it's the U.S. right now, but it's definitely.
It
Was
was
it the
a
world?
it
Yeah, it
was
was
it
one
was
of
the
them.
world. It was the
It
world.
was the world. Yeah, I thought it was the world, but like I definitely think we're seeing that type of shift to where it's going there to where there's that lane for there to be a connection, but like you said, there has to be different brands and people for that connection to be made, and that's why like even like I said, like Market Monday is talking about how the investment is there. Like there's obviously things that are going to be needed in Africa as it becomes a growing and growing power, but like it's just like, are we going to be able to bridge that gap? Are people going to be able to attack that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the big takeaway I had like just I work in marketing and advertising, and so the shift in what I was and I'm doing outside of this was that I can't targeting only black businesses this early would is going to only stunt and stagger my growth in the
Yeah,
fields
it'll
that I'm
limit your
trying to.
scope too much.
Yeah, like I got to thinking, yo, if I just work with high ticket services like dentists or spas or whatever, like if I spent 30 days targeting those companies, would I make money? Probably yes. Probably yes. I feel pretty confident in that. But the sentiment from that is, yo, if it's good, the people that will pay for it will pay for it. And I think for this, less I feel like it's less about saying, hey, we're for black people, hey, we're Pan Africans, hey, we're trying to connect people, and just coming out with hard shit. You know what I'm saying? Like just putting out fire podcasts, just putting out fire mixes, doing fire events in communities that people want to show up to that that just embodies those things. I think that's the end. Like once that happens, it's like we don't have to say we're a black company or we're a Pan-Africanist company. You'll just look at our demo and see it. But I digress. I don't know. I had a somber morning after that conversation with Josh.